once I'd got over the upset of realising that, you know, we couldn't do anything with this footage, I started to think, well, you know, I've got to get other team members in. I have to go and look for people that know what they're doing as well, because I wasn't going to spend time training people up. So I got in touch with a cameraman who's come from uni back in the UK, and he was over here and he wanted to get back involved. And he took a look. I said, is there any chance of us being able to do something with the Ravenswood footage? And he took a look at it, and he spent a couple of days on it, and he got back and he said no. He says, rather than waste time trying to, you know, beef up the audio from cameras that really should be off a lapel mic and trying to fill shots in that aren't there, he said, you're better off doing this again. Go to another location and do it again. So we started from scratch.
That was quite a hard thing for us. I mean, you imagine like a year and a half of your life putting effort into one thing, and then you just lose it like that.
I had to get cameramen on board. I had to get people that knew how to work with audio and lighting and stuff. So luckily, through a bit of research, I'd come across Wayne Young, who worked for Channel 7. Well, he does work on off Channel 7, Channel 9, all the networks. And he liked the spiritual aspect of it all and ghost hunting. And so he came along and gave us an hand. And then the next thing was, let's get somebody who can present it really well. So we got a professional historian. She's an oral historian, and Helen Munt, and she works in theatre as well. So she's really used to cameras and people, and she really come across absolutely perfect on screen. So yeah, along with Luke, who's a brilliant editor and so forth. So we had the main people there, and you know, so yeah, once we'd got them together, I was all charged and ready to start again.
My eldest son, he watched some of these ghost hunting type programs. There's an American one called Ghost Hunters, and the English one is called Most Haunted. And so I knew the genre, you know, was a viable format, and you know, it did have international viewers. So I thought, well, give it a crack, you know, maybe it'll go somewhere. So on the day of the actual rehearsal shoot, or dummy shoot as Martin called it, yeah, it was a little bit like being on the set of the EastEnders. There was a lot of English folk. In fact, I was one of the few Aussies, I reckon.
I came along to this dummy shoot, and it was really fun. It was all, I think it was all faked. It was kind of a project that I could kind of gel with, and it would work with my kind of style. And so from that point on, you know, I was like, I'm definitely gonna, you know, help out with this. This is cool.
I was the only person who'd worked full time at TV. Everyone else came from different walks of life, and this was their first go at making a TV video production. So for them it was all exciting, and you know, it was like a hobby coming to fruition. So I had to be a bit of an ogre and sort of like keep everyone on task, because as I said, like after years of doing this, sort of like I was just at work, it was just a normal day for me. But I knew that each 5 minutes, each 10 minutes that we dithered around, sort of like getting excited about it, then we needed to push on. Otherwise we're going to never finish it. We'd be hours behind.
You're gonna break it. It's falling over.
On one of the dummy shoots, they decided to put me in another room with mirrors, and I cannot stand mirrors. Like, they scare me to death. Like, literally, mirrors is one thing I don't like. A Ouija board, I'll do that. Mirrors, no. Because you can always see things just in the mirror, you're just like, oh.
flashes seem to have stopped now. I'm not too sure what that was. All I remember is seeing 2 flashes. Guys, the doors is fucking closed on me. It's not even funny now.
I had to wait for a couple of seconds because they locked the bloody door as well, so I couldn't get out. Sat there just like, oh, it's not a good time, you know.
To my audience, I love you. Sia bueno.
The Perth Town Hall was chosen because it's central, it's a whole building and it's central to Perth itself.
Welcome to Active Afterlife and welcome to the Perth Town Hall. There's been quite a lot of activity reported here in the hall. There's been reports of the spirit of a woman. There's been a convict seen falling to his death. Hopefully this is something that the investigators will pick up on tonight.
It's on a cross junction and there's all these new modern buildings just towering above the Perth Town Hall, and it absolutely looks, it's still, to me, even though it's small, it still looks dominant because it's been there before all these other buildings, and I thought this place is going to have some history. I also did a bit of research and found out that the convicts had built this, so, you know, who'd built their own prison here too. So I thought this goes way back, so yeah, that's why it was chosen.
Now, as I was driving there, I could hear on the radio that there was a massive traffic jam on the Kwinana Freeway, which leads up from where Martin lives into the city. So I rang him up and said, "Martin, there's a huge jam. I think there's a traffic accident or something on the freeway." He's going, "Oh no, it'll be fine." And then Martin got caught up in this big, long, skinny traffic jam, and yeah, he rolled up probably an hour or so late. Yeah, this is the big day. I've got a lot of camera gear with me. My car is loaded to the wall. We're packed for bear. We've got about 6 or 7 cameras, a huge lighting rig. I've hired some audio equipment as well, some radio mics, and we're setting up in the Perth Town Hall. It's been like a lot of hoops to jump through for Martin to get access to it. It is one of Perth's most historic buildings, and yeah, we've got access to it for the night.
There was still just as much planning and preparation. There was still just as much head screwing. There was a few I quits. There was a few, can we do this? But all in all, I think what we got out of it was good.
For Martin, like, he had a fairly big, he'd made a fairly big rod for his back that day. I mean, not only was he principal talent, he was the executive producer, he was the producer, he was the wrangler, he was the first AD, he was the director. So he had a fair bit going on. The last thing he needed was being late. They went to a lot of trouble to blacklight or black out all the windows and any exit lights, anything like that. So basically it was like pure black when we're, in the darkness when we're down there.
I wouldn't say we had friction within the team, but it's definitely a place where I learned lead means lead. You have to take the lead. Because you'd send other team members off to maybe go cover a light, and you'd turn around and they're on their phone having a laugh. It wasn't so funny at the time. Now when we look back on it, what were we expecting?
There was people that were on camera, there was people that worked back scenes, there was people that organised and maintained and ran all the equipment that for ghost hunting, infrared cameras. They had this complex system of infrared cameras and infrared lights that all fed back to a central point where they monitored the outputs of these cameras. I was kind of hoping that if a spirit sort of revealed itself in the infrared spectrum, that they'd capture it.
A gentleman has been seen walking down the Jarrah staircase who has walked right past the woman and into the main hall area.
I remember it being really fun. I was really tired and everything was really scary. I remember at one point, that's kind of part of the thing that I really liked about it, is you can get involved, you can get wound up in the atmosphere. Like I said, I didn't really necessarily believe the things, but I was letting myself kind of be like, oh, what if, maybe there'll be something here. Maybe when I go back on the footage, we'll get something cool. That'll be really exciting. and I let myself get, you know, really wound up in the moment.
Okay, I just heard noise. Okay, right. Corey, someone come help, please.
Martin had told me that he had sensed spirits there, and you know, as I said, like, I'm not sure about spirit, so it's kind of, you really wanted to catch something, you really wanted to see something. We set up a few trigger tools, which were things that maybe a spirit might be attracted to and they may interact with, and we set up little cameras and things on them. One was, Martin said there was some young boys in spirit form that were doing laps around this hall, and so we set up a colourful ball and I put a little LED light and I think it was a 1-inch sensor Sony camera just recording just there. I remember at the end of the night getting that camera and sort of like going to playback and just looking, just going, hoping more than anything to see that ball move.
There's a ball been set up here, Rihanna. This is a trigger tool for the boys because they're running through that door and back round here and running through. If they're an active energy, there's no reason why they won't interact with that. But if it's a residual energy, it probably won't get interfered with.
Right. Well, boys, there's a ball here if you want to play with it.
Yeah, I mean, look, I want to kick that now.
I really do.
Know?
Did you hear that?
I did hear that, yeah. And I'm really sorry.
Did you hear that?
I heard that. Now this is the window that he's been seen. I mean, he's reported to have fallen from the roof. There was fighting over this tool. It was the fight over... Did you hear that again?
Did you hear that one again? It was right on the roof.
Rihanna was with us right from the beginning, right through the Ravenswood shoot. She was a makeup artist. Any green screen shots or anything like that, she was always there to help. She was a really good team member. But in the Perth Town Hall, I needed a female presence on screen. I thought it was a good thing, you know, to have, rather than just guys, you know, doing the investigations. It'd be good to have a female in front of camera. So I asked Rihanna and she was pretty happy about it, but she also let me know she was pretty scared of the dark, and she found the whole thing creepy. Even though she's been involved with us all the time, she's never actually had to walk out in the dark. So at that moment I realised, you know, a good nickname for her would be the Rookie. As we was walking through room to room, I'd explain certain things to her to get her to understand how a trigger tool works and why we've set it up there, and you could just see in her eyes how worried and tense she was being in that atmosphere. But that was good because it kind of added that little bit more magic to what was happening through the camera. I'm right now, I just can't believe what's happened. This shadow is actually watched, or was watching us. As I took notice, the shadow backed off around the corner.
Martin said that he'd had contact from the spirit world about the spirit of a girl, Hayley Dodd. Hayley Dodd was a 15-year-old girl who, back in the 90s, in a really, really famous murder, was abducted and never to be seen again. And it was in the wheat belt in the Midwest of Western Australia, and he said that he had some inklings about that she might be trying to contact him and tell him where she was. And I went, wow, we should definitely go film that. And so when he went, you know, I tagged along, and again, you know, as I said, like, you know, for me personally, the jury is out on the afterlife. You know, do we just rot in the soil, or does our soul linger on, or does unhappy souls linger in somewhere in between life and death? But anyway, I mean, if he was correct in his assumptions, then yeah, he would have solved a major mystery that's still with us today. Like, you know, what happened to Hayley, and where is her final resting place? So we're traipsing around this old farm in the Midwest, and this is when something happened that sort of like made my hackles on the back of my neck stand up. We were in the bush, and obviously being English, Martin was not prepared. Like it was freaking hot. It was just before Christmas. We had limited water. We were out in the bush. There was kangaroo ticks everywhere, and I just saw him change. Like, yeah, his whole persona changed. He got really not excited. He got agitated, and he could tell he was quite scared and really upset. And he kept going, "This is something bad's happened here. Something bad's happened here." And yeah, it was quite amazing to watch.
There's something not right. Oh God. How do you get in here? How do you get in here? Where's the road? Here. There? There. I need to look here. I'm going to come back.
He said that this place where we were, that something bad has happened, but it wasn't Hayley's final resting place, that she was elsewhere. But he kind of was intimating that this is where she may have met her demise.
Something around here. There's something in this area. I don't know whether she's here or I don't know. I feel it's not my emotion. I have no reason to be this way.
Like filming it and just seeing the change in Mun, I don't think it was an act. It definitely didn't come across as one, but yeah, as I said, like, I don't know. But yeah, it was definitely an eye-opener and something that made me think that, wow, this guy could actually, he could actually be able to talk to the spirits, or not talk to the spirits, but has some communication with them. And yeah, so that made doing our pilot at the Perth Town Hall, like, even more exciting.
It's the strongest feeling, lead I've had here. To get emotions, it's when you're walking into that energy that once was. And because I'm a sensitive guy, I can sense that. It's like two people having an argument in a room, and when I walk in, even though the argument finished a couple of hours ago, I can still sense that overwhelming, like you've been part of it. And that's exactly what I feel coming up to this area. I could feel the draw as I was running up. There's definitely something. There's definitely something here. Corey was lead investigator at the Perth Town Hall, and he's a professional in his own right. I mean, he's been with us through thick and thin all the way through it, and he without him, Perth Town Hall shoot wouldn't have happened. There's many times when because it was very stressful. I had to make sure that lapels weren't falling off people, and just generally running around like an headless chicken, making sure we've got all the shots and all the sound was right. And there's so many times when I wanted to run and hit my head on a wall. People was asking me to do this, asking me to do that, and it's like, have I got a zip here? Do I let this half of the body do that? And so, Corey just willingly came up and said, "Don't worry, Mark, I've got it. I've got this." And that guy just, under pressure, just flies. Alright, so when you start to walk, and then you go up the tree.
Seeing Kenny in that room by himself, I mean, that was great. That was a great shoot. He definitely felt something, and you can see it in his face, the emotion that he has across. Like, you can tell he's not faking that. He is for real. He was definitely he was scared.
You can talk now, please. Hello or anything?
And I start hearing voices coming through on this voice box. I'm like, oh no, why? Not today, go get someone else. So I've got the camera on me, we'll have a camera over here, voice box here, just a lot of equipment going on, you know. So I'm like, okay, so is there anybody here that wants to talk to me? And they're like, hello?
I'm literally frozen on the spot. I can't stop moving. Hello?
And I just hear this really loud scream both through the walkie-talkie and through, you know, the wall.
Okay, I just heard noise.
That was a great moment.
Okay, right. Corey, someone come help, please.
I just completely shit myself.
I went in there and he shit himself, and this audio spectrum analysis thing is just going, whoo, and it's like, you just go, whoa, jeepers creepers, what's going on here?
Yeah, I'll head back to base. Where I feel safe. Oh, don't you jump out on me like that.
Yeah, I believe he was definitely scared.
We wasn't interested in faking anything. You know, the whole idea from day one was to see if we could get on camera or audio equipment what I personally pick up. And so it was a bit of a challenge. You know, it's not easy, you know, it's not easy to get something what people don't believe is there. You know, I'm trying to say this, they are there. It's just not that easy to get them on equipment. Once this was all done and we'd sent this submission packages off to several networks, local networks, and there's one network in particular that had shown an interest, and it had been passed through different departments. But, you know, time went by and I was kind of hopeful, but they got back and they said that the quality was outstanding, so that's good. We had all the, you know, the sound was good. They was very happy with the polished look and the overall look, but unfortunately for us, it wasn't really anything new, because there's so many ghost hunting teams out there. I think I'd followed something that I was passionate about and thought, I'll try and grab it from a different angle, but I didn't think they really saw it. Our eye was trying to portray it, you know. Maybe they're used to people throwing something across behind the camera and a team reacting to it. That's not how we worked. You know, if we didn't get anything, we didn't get anything. But, you know, the show's interesting in itself because of how we've put ourselves out there to try to get that kind of, you know, information, that sort of thing on camera and stuff. So, being quite honest, I was disappointed, and so was the team members, and I think we all felt very much like we was left in the dark. You know, just like a ghost. No one knows you're there. Yeah.
Give your thoughts on being part of the team.
Being part of the team was something I very much miss today. If I was to put it, I actually feel choked because I feel quite drawn to, feel quite drawn to the team. You know, well, there's two sets of teams. We had a team for Ravenswood and we had a team for Perth Town Hall. But I'm very grabbed by them. Here we go again. The best word I can use is family. I miss being with them. We all worked so well together. Sometimes we fell out, you know, and disagreed, but most of the time we gelled better than super glue.
The highlight was really going on these physical adventures, actually going to a place and, you know, letting myself get worked up in the atmosphere. That was awesome.
I remember leaving there at 4 o'clock in the morning or something like that, and I thought, jeepers creepers, I've been here for like 16 hours or something. It was a long day. For him, it would have been, yeah, even longer. But I think he turned out a good product.
I'm happy with what we did. I think our idea was good. We came in with something that, although a lot of people have done, it was our take on it. And I feel that we didn't have a bad idea, it's just people didn't quite understand what we were going for. And that's fair enough.
Like, we'd done what we could to try and get out there for it, and then it just, sometimes things ain't good enough. Like, we were good, man, we were fucking great. Seriously, we were good.
I'd love to continue working with Martin and other projects. As for AA, I think AA is done for now. But if something was to come out of it in the future, maybe a mini doco or something, then yeah, of course, I'd be straight there, I'd be straight on it. Because that's what we want to do. We want to keep doing what we love. And yeah.
Would I carry it on? Definitely at some point, like, yeah, definitely meet up as a group, even if it's not active enough, like just get together and just, you know, let's go somewhere haunted and just have a night there, just for old time's sakes. I'd do that.
Well, Martin's really passionate about his filming, and I wish him all the best, and I know he's going to succeed because he never gives up.
As far as active afterlife goes, the way I look at all the guys, they're all professionals and they're all family, and it was one hell of a ride, what we did.
I'm 100% sure, but anyway, these batteries went, oh damn, sorry, just kicked the microphone, it could have been spirit, who knows.
So Martin's a
That's going in.
And I came along to this dummy shoot, which was somewhere, I don't remember, sorry. It was...
Brilliant, that's it, guys.
Cool bananas.
If there's anything you want to add, you're welcome.
I really want
What?
No, I ain't joking.
How's that?
Yep. Red.
So what's just happened here is...
Sorry about that, guys. Camera died. Full battery as well. The mics died just before, so like, you know, always happens to me.